I think each one of the value we know there. Somebody may say, what is this root of 2 minus root 3 by 4? We don't know. 2 minus root 3 by 4, you can multiply 2, divide with 2 and write 4 minus 2 root 3 by 8. This 4 you can write 3 plus 1 minus 2 root 3 by 8. This is a perfect square. Numerator is root 3 minus 1 whole square. And denominator is 2 root 2 whole square. So which is root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2. Instead of directly giving root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2, they gave this. So when you take sine inverse of square root of 2 minus root 3 by 4, it is basically sine inverse root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2, which is 15 degrees. In radians, it is pi by 12. Cos inverse root 12 by 4 is same as cos inverse root 3 by 2, which is 30 degrees pi by 6. So root 12 you can write 4 into 3. And secant inverse root 2 is 45 degrees, which is pi by 4. So now they want sine inverse cot of this. Okay. So sine inverse cot of pi by 12 plus pi by 6 plus pi by 4. That is the question. When I take 12 LCM, this is pi, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi. The cot, of course. Sine inverse cot pi by 2, cot 90 is 0. Sine inverse 0 is also 0. Okay, third question, cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3 is 2 pi by 3 because of the principal values. And sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3 is not 2 pi by 3. Sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3, sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3, I can write pi minus pi by 3. Sine 180 minus theta is sine theta. So we'll get sine inverse sine pi by 3, which is pi by 3 itself. That's it. No, 2 pi by 3 plus pi by 3 is pi. Okay, so first question is finding each individual value and then just substituting, that's all. And second question, this is within the principal values, this is outside the principal values, so bring it down to principal values. Okay, fifth question is also a routine formula. Just x equal tan theta will give. Only thing is that for what x values it is okay. Okay, first one I am erasing. Anybody needs more time?
So 1 minute, 1 minute.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fifth one is a formula. Only thing is that when it is valid, we have to know. We know RHS will belong to open interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, tan inverse something. So even LHS also should belong to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That is 2 tan inverse x. Then tan inverse x should belong to minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. Then x should belong to minus 1 to 1. We already know this case, the three cases for the formula, and this formula is valid when x is between minus 1 to 1. Okay, some questions, if they're repeated, I want to skip it. I think seventh question IP were done it. Okay, so let cot inverse x is A, cot inverse y is equal to B, and cot inverse z is C. What they gave is A plus B plus C equal to pi by 2. Then we know cot A plus cot B plus cot C is cot A into cot B into cot C. If we don't know, send C that side and apply cot A plus B equal to pi by 2 minus C. Cot A plus B is equal to cot pi by 2 minus C. Cot A plus B formula is cot A cot B minus 1 by cot A plus cot B. Cot 90 minus C is tan C, which is 1 by cot C. Okay, when you do cross multiplication, we will get cot A, cot B, cot C minus cot C is equal to cot A plus cot B. When you send cot C that side, cot A plus cot B plus cot C is equal to cot A into cot B into cot C. And this is x, this is y, this is z, this is equal to x, y, z. Okay, fifth one is fairly simple. I don't think anybody has doubt about it. Seventh one also similar questions we have done in IP, one or two questions. Ninth one, I have to still think how somebody got an idea to make this question. But doing is very easy. Just take 5 minus psi, simplify, it will come. 5 minus psi is tan inverse x root 3 by 2k minus x minus tan inverse 2x minus k by This is 2k minus x. Just simply use tan inverse A minus tan inverse B formula, that's it. This is 3kx plus minus 2kx plus 2k square plus 2x square. This one, after take root 3 common, it is 2k square minus 2kx plus 2x square. Both are same, I can cancel. I'll get tan inverse 1 by root 3, which is 30 degrees. Okay. Of course, as a student, maybe it's not so much required for you to worry. You just do it, it will come. But I'm more worried. After simplifying, answer is coming, it's okay. But how somebody got an idea to make this question? That is, which expression should take here, so that it will come. Maybe this is something like 15 plus theta. This is something like 15 degrees minus theta. Maybe. I don't know.
So we can simply eliminate C and D, no, sir, because they're not in the principal values.
They are not within the principal values. When no, actually phi alone is between minus pi to pi, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Psi is between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Then the phi minus I is between minus pi to pi. Yeah. So C and D are more than beyond pi. Okay. But still A and B are there. Of course, not. You don't have to exactly worry how to make the question. In the sense, you can take any expression here. take the answer whatever you want, bring the and this one that side, simplify it, whatever comes, put it here. You can always do that. Here the expressions look similar. That's what. Anybody want to tell answer for 10th question without writing anything?
Sir, pi by 2?
Why you are saying pi by 2?
Sir, tan inverse lambda plus tan inverse 1 by lambda. So tan inverse 1 by lambda, we can write it as cot inverse lambda. So anything tan inverse plus cot inverse is pi by 2 for all real numbers.
Yeah, tan inverse lambda plus cot inverse lambda pi by 2, I'll agree. But tan inverse 1 by lambda need not be cot inverse lambda.
Yes, sir, for lambda not equal to 0.
Apart from 0 also.
The roots of the quadratic equation which are given, sir, that should not take the lambda value.
No, whatever is the root doesn't matter. Let us say lambda is any real number. Can I write tan inverse 1 by lambda directly cot inverse lambda, non-zero number lambda? The question is very simple. Is tan inverse 1 by lambda same as cot inverse lambda?
Sir, only when lambda is positive?
Yes, only when lambda is positive. When lambda is negative, the principal values doesn't match. One is between minus 90 to 0, one is between 90 to 180. So here, how will you know whether lambda is positive or negative?
By finding roots.
Okay, you can find the roots. Without finding the root, can you tell me whether the roots of this equation are positive or negative? Anybody?
Negative, sir.
Why?
Sir, don't know, sir.
Don't. Okay.
I found roots and it, sir.
Okay. Anybody without
Sir,
finding the roots?
sir.
Yes.
All coefficients are positive only, no, sir.
Yes.
If roots are negative, then the equation will be equal to 0.
Yeah. Basically, whether negative or not, positive root cannot be there. That much I can tell, because when I substitute positive number, x square is positive, 3x is positive, plus 1 is positive. If everything is positive, how can the sum be 0? Yes. So with a simple logic, we can tell a positive number cannot be root. Then obviously the negative number should be root. So because lambda is negative here, answer is not 5 bit. Anyway, just
Minus
other
5
question.
by 2, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so ninth one, this down part I'm erasing. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So ninth one, we have not done anything great. We want phi minus psi. They gave phi, they gave psi. Tan inverse A minus tan inverse B formula. Tan inverse A minus B by 1 plus AB. And we simplify it, even though it looks like big expressions, nothing is there. Cancel, you'll get 1 by root 3. Okay. Some questions, they look very big, but actually at the end, they are very, very simple. Okay. Sometimes you see very dark clouds and there will be thunder and all that. You will expect heavy rain and not a drop falls. Right? So like that, some questions look scary. Okay, such a big question, better to leave. We feel like that in the exam. But after that, you see it's such a silly question, hardly 1 or 2 steps.
Big questions are always easy to solve, sir. Small questions will keep us thinking.
Yeah. Like 10th question appears very small, but we can go wrong. Okay, coming to 11th question. First of all, sine of cos inverse x is same as cos of sine inverse x. Is it correct or wrong?
X belongs to -1.
Anybody want to prove how these two are equal? Sine of cos inverse x is same as cos of sine inverse x. Anybody want to give an idea how to prove that these two are equal?
Sir, we can prove any one side by writing the inner part as 90 minus sine inverse x.
Yeah, that's good. You write cos inverse x as pi by 2 minus sin inverse x, it will come. Simply start with this and write sine of.
Sir, and both are equal to root over 1 minus x square, sir. We can
Yeah,
prove by triangle also.
that is also good. Yes. Sine of pi by 2 minus cos inverse x. Sorry, sin inverse x. Sorry. This cos inverse x, the inner part, I wrote it as pi by 2 minus sin inverse x because we know cos inverse x plus sin inverse x is pi by 2. Now sine 90 plus theta is cos theta. So this is the theta. That is this root. Okay, so the inner parts are equal. That is one way. Or this and this both are root 1 minus x square when x is positive. What about when x is negative? Also same. Okay, when x is positive, this is root 1 minus x square. When x is negative, also it's obtuse, but sign is still positive, so it's fine. Here also fine. Yeah, both are equal to root 1 minus x square for all x belongs to minus 1 to 1.
Yes,
So this
sir.
is one method. Or sine of cos inverse x is equal to root 1 minus x square, and the cos of sine inverse x is also root 1 minus x square. That's why they're equal. Either way. Once their inner parts are equal, the question is we have cos inverse something plus sine inverse something by 2. But this part and this part are same. When cos inverse k plus sine inverse k, the two k's are equal, it is pi by 2 only. Okay. So because these two are equal, I'm just writing in a rough manner, you can understand. It will be pi by 2 by 2, which is pi by 4. Okay, once again, it may looks like cos inverse of sine of cos inverse x, but still actually is quite simple. Now they want tan of that also. I did not see that. Okay. This is tan of this whole thing, which is tan of pi by 2 by 2. This is tan pi by 4, which is 1. Okay, this is a simple, nice question. Just there's not any great formula, only one formula you have to know, that sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. Varshit Reddy, you are there from the beginning?
Yes, sir.
So understood 11th one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, 13. Better I would apply cos on both sides. 2 tan inverse 2x minus 1 is equal to cos inverse x. This tan inverse I'll take it as A and this I'll take B. And apply cos on both sides. Cos 2a equal to cos b. Cos 2a because I know tan a now, because since or let tan inverse 2x minus 1 equal to a, cos inverse x equal to b. Cos 2a I can write 1 minus tan square a by 1 plus tan square a. This is cos b or x. Tan square is 2x minus 1. 1 minus 2x minus 1 whole square by 1 plus 2x minus 1 whole square is equal to x. Here we can cancel 1. I can even cancel 1x, but let me do that later on. Minus 4x square plus 4x is equal to x plus 4x cube minus 4x square. 1 plus 1 is 2, so this is 2x. Okay, so this is 4x cube minus 4x square got cancelled, minus 2x equal to 0. To 4x common, it is x square minus half equal to 0. So you'll get x equal to 0 plus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2. 3 values, all are fine. When I put 0, principal values doesn't match, so 0 is not okay. When I put 1 by root 2 minus 1 tan inverse is 15 degrees and 2 into 15, 30, that is also 22 and off and 45, that's fine. Minus 1 by root 2, right side is 135 degrees and left side is also 67 and off, that is also fine. No, minus 1 by root 2 is left side is not 67 and off, it is minus 67 and off. Not off. So plus 1 by root 2 is the only answer. Anybody want to tell? I want to change the question slightly. Okay, so that 0 will be the solution. Because basically I want to understand why 0 also came as an answer. Anybody want to give an explanation for that? When I put 0, LHS is minus 90 and RHS is plus 90.
Sir, as we applied cos on both sides, sir, for 2a equal to b.
Yeah, why
Cos
extra
of-
solutions are coming, I can understand. But what I'm saying is, instead of this, what else I can take? So still everything will be same and this will be the answer, not this.
Sir, if we take 1 minus 2x, it would be correct. Sir.
If you take one side, if you take 1 minus
If
2,
we
it is
take-
correct. Yeah, that's good. That is as good as putting a minus outside. For example, this is 2a equal to b, right? If I write minus 2a equal to b, will my solution will matter anyway? Same, right?
Same, sir.
Then LHS and RHS are equal. Yes. So minus 2a equal to b. That is, you put a minus here. For that, 0 is the solution. Minus 1 by root 2. When is that the solution? This is 135. This is so. 0 and minus 1 by root 2 both are solutions for this putting minus here. Okay. And when it is as it is, only 1 by root 2 is the solution. We did not get any more solutions, but yeah, I think we can make up a nice matching question. That will be a good one. Okay, 13th one. Anybody any doubt? Okay, 15. It may be the only number of values they want. We can as well do from the graph, I guess. 13, 15th one. 3 sine inverse x is equal to pi minus pi x. Sine inverse x is equal to pi minus pi x by 3. I'll draw the graph of this and graph of this. I'll draw the graph of y equal to sine inverse x and y equal to pi minus pi x by 3. And see how many times they intersect. This is a straight line. This is a regular sine inverse x. We know that. Okay. I know very well about sine inverse x graph. What about the straight line? What is the x-intercept when I put y equal to 0? X-intercept is 1. And y-intercept when I put x equal to 0 is pi by 3. 1 and pi by 3. One is here. People cannot see. Okay, 13 I want to erase. Anybody needs more time?
No, sir.
Sir. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, how did you eliminate the values?
When you put them back in the original equation, LHS and RHS are not equal. One is coming negative of the other.
Oh, yes, sir.
So if I take 1 here and pi by 3 is also a little more than 1. This is a graph of that line. Whereas sine inverse x graph is this. This is 1, this is pi by 2, the y value. Okay, so this is a graph of y equal to sine inverse x. This is pi by 3. This is a graph of y equal to pi minus pi x by 3. They are intersecting only once. So one solution. In physics and center of mass where integration involved, have you done those questions or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will tell you one little now. No, that's not a good. Let me see at the end of the class if I have time. I don't want to get distracted. Anyway, I'll tell you a question and the discussion I can do it later. One time in KVPY, long time back, something like 2008 or something, they gave this question. This is a line, okay? This is a line of length L. This line, if you revolve it with respect to this axis, what figure you will get?
Cylinder.
You get cylinder.
All a cylinder.
All a cylinder, yes. I'll take this height is x. Okay. Next, same, this height is x only. But this line you keep like this. Length is L. L by 2 here, L by 2 here. The midpoint is at a height x. When you revolve this, what will come?
Cone.
Cone will come.
Frustum,
Right?
sir.
Yeah, frustum. Yes, not full cone, frustum. Yes, correct. Okay, let us say this is height x only, but the line which I am talking about is here. From here to here, that length is L. But the midpoint is at a distance x. Now when I revolve this, what will come?
Double cone.
This stick is
Disc,
revolved.
sir.
You will get a disc. Yeah, you will get an annular region between the two concentric circles, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that will have some area. Okay, so the cylinder has a surface area, and the cone has a surface area. This annular region has a surface area. Even that frustum that you talked about, it is not fixed because I did not tell you what angle it is inclined. This L, as you keep on changing, you will get different frustums. If you keep it here like this, okay. Every time the surface area is same. Whether it is the annular region, whether it is cylinder, or whether it is a frustum, the surface area is same. Okay. By geometry, it can be proved by simple your formulas that you study in school. But there is something more to it, which I'll explain. But some geometry, somebody is interested to prove. Basically, the question is very simple. Take this length L, midpoint is at a distance x. This angle of inclination, you take whatever you want, theta, 0 to 90, anything. When you revolve this, when you get a frustum, the surface area of that is always same. It only depends on x and L, doesn't depend on theta. Okay, this is 17. Again, they want number of solutions, so we'll apply cos. Of course, sometimes we'll draw the graph. Here, I'm not interested in drawing the graph. Sometimes we do draw the graph also. So here it is 2 sine inverse x plus 2. And this is cos inverse x plus 3. I want to take this as A and this as B. Now this is like 2A equal to B. I want to apply cos 2A is equal to cos B, so that at least RHS will be very simple. And cos 2A, I have a formula in terms of sine A, which is 1 minus 2 sine square A is equal to cos B. What is sine square A? Sine A is x plus 2, so this is x plus 2 whole square. What is cos B? X plus 3. Simple quadratic, we can solve. 1 minus 2x square minus 8x minus 8 equal to x plus 3. Send everything that side, will get 2x square plus 9x plus 10 equal to 0. 20, I can write 5 and 4. X plus 2 into 2x plus 5. So we'll get x equal to minus 2 or minus 5 by 2. Are both okay? When I put minus 2, this is 0. That is cos inverse 1, that is also 0. So minus 2 is good. Minus 5 by 2, this is minus half, minus 30, minus 60. There it is plus half, plus 60. No, they are not equal. If I put a minus in here, that the solution for that will be minus 5 by 2. This is not true. This is solution for minus 2a equal to. So this type of questions we are applying both sides sine or cos or tan, and we know that we get extra solutions. Anybody any doubt regarding 15 or 17? Okay, 19, you have to understand, basically you have to find the range of LHS. As long as lambda is within that range, there will be a solution. Otherwise, there will not be any solution. So as I said, whenever you have to find the domain, first of all, you have to find the range. Sorry, whenever you have to find the range, you have to find the domain. Sorry, I made it wrong. Well, when they ask range, they will not, there's no talking about domain in the question, but without finding domain, we can be wrong in the finding range. Okay. So first of all, if you talk about cos inverse x plus cot inverse x, this is defined for all x values. This is only for between -1 to 1. So when you take the intersection, so the domain of, whenever you are adding to this one, you find the domain of the first one and domain of the second one, the intersection you have to take. So this is a final domain. Within this is also increasing, and what about this? Is this increasing or decreasing? They both are decreasing, right? If x increases, okay, or instead of as x is increasing from -1 to 1, cos inverse x is decreasing from -pi to 0, because cos inverse -1 from pi to 0. Cos inverse -1 is pi, cos inverse 1 is 0. What about cot inverse x? That is also decreasing, because cot inverse -1 is 3 pi by 4 to pi by 4. Even if you look at the graph also, you will know cos inverse is somewhat like this, and cot inverse x is also somewhat like this. Both are decreasing, so their sum will be decreasing only. So because of that, cos inverse x plus cot inverse x decreases from, when you add pi and 3 pi by 4, it is 7 pi by 4, and when you add 0 and pi by 4, it is pi by 4. So range of cos inverse x plus cot inverse x is pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4. Which is roughly 3.14 by 4 is something like 0.7, 3.14. So 314 by 4, 34 means 4 8s are 32, 20 means something like around 0.785 roughly. Whereas 7 pi by 4 is 7 into 3.14 by 4. 7 4 are 28. Or you take this and multiply 7. That is easy. 7 5 are 35. 6 7 8 6 9. 5.495 roughly. Okay. So this is around 5.495. This is around 0.785. You take any number between these two and find integer part, what it can be. What are the possible integer values? Okay. So integer values in the range are, you take anything between 0.785 to 1, integer part will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So lambda can be any one of these integers, we'll have a solution. Otherwise, we will not have.
Sir, it's asking integral values, not integer part of lambda.
No, not. They're asking lambda. I'm not saying integer part. Oh, 0 you cannot take, sorry. In this, what are the integers that are available? Okay. So which is 0 is not there, sorry. So integers are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, not 0. Thank you. So lambda should be an integer and this equation should have solution. So we have to see what are the integers which are available in the range. These are the integers which are available in the range, which are 5 solutions. Okay, so when one function is increasing, one function is decreasing, with what happened to their sum? What is the minimum? What is the maximum? You cannot tell. They both are decreasing, so it is easy. Anybody any doubt regarding 19? Rhythm day, you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Naveen, you understood? Kya Naveen?
Don't erase it, sir.
Okay.
Done, sir. Completed.
Okay. 21. First of all, let us find the domain. What x values are okay. Or maybe without that also we'll manage. See. Okay, 21. Integer part of x plus k, I can write integer part of x plus k, provided k is an integer. If k belongs to I. If k is not an integer, I cannot take it out like this. Okay. In fact, this is also not correct. Integer part of x plus y need not be integer part of x plus integer part of y. Need not be correct. All right. Okay. So as long as k is integer, we can take it out. We thoroughly discussed about greater than itself function earlier, before functions. Now the question is f of x is equal to sine inverse integer part of x minus 1 plus cos inverse integer part of x minus 2. They want the range, but nothing to worry. It is a very simple question. Sine inverse. This minus 1 I can take it out. It will be integer part of x minus 1 plus cos inverse integer part of x minus 2. Okay, now let us see. I'll take integer part of x minus 1, integer part of x minus 2. When I take this as 2, this will be 1, this will be 0. But when I take this as 3, this will be 2 and this will be 1. That is defined, but this will not be defined. Sine inverse 2 will not be defined. When I take this as 2, this will be 1 and this will be 0. Both are defined. When I take this as 1, this will be 0, this will be minus 1. Again, both are defined, no problem. But when I take this is 0, this will be minus 1, this will be minus 2. This is defined, but this is not defined. When I cross 0, like minus 1, this will be minus 2, this will be minus 3. Both will not be defined. Okay. So only these are the two cases where, in fact, if I take 4 here, this will be 3, this will be 2, nothing will be defined. Okay, so if you want this to be defined, integer part of x can be 2 or 1. You can even write it, I'll write another way of the same thing, but mainly this. So now simply take integer part of x equal to 2. During that time, what is f of x based on this? It will be sine inverse 1 plus cos inverse 0, which is pi by 2 plus pi by 2, which is pi. When you take integer part of x is equal to 1, then what is f of x? It will be sine inverse 0 plus cos inverse minus 1, which is 0, and cos inverse minus 1 pi, which is pi. So
in the question it is sine inverse x minus 1 plus 2 cos inverse x minus 2, sir.
Oh, I did not see that too. Okay, thank you. Okay, it's not going to change much. So I have to just here plus 2 times plus 2 times. So here it will be 3 pi by 2. Here it will be 2 pi. So the range contains only two elements, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. And what is the domain? I did not tell what is the domain for x. I only told integer part of x. These are the acceptable values. If you don't want to analyze like this, you can analyze another way for the domain. What is that? This should be between -1 to 1 for this to be defined. -1 less than or equal to integer part of x, -1 less than or equal to 1. When I add 1, 0 less than or equal to integer part of x less than or equal to 2. Whereas for this, integer part of x minus 2 would be between -1 and 1. When I add to 1 less than or equal to integer part of x less than or equal to 3. So for first one to be defined, integer part of x should be between closed interval 0 to, that is 0 to, and this should be between 1 to 3. When I take intersection of these two, finally I will get one says between 0 to 2, another says between 1 to 3. What is the intersection? When I take intersection, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This says it should be between 0 to 2. This says it should be between 1 and 3. Then the intersection is it should be between 1 and 2. So we'll get 1 less than or equal to integer part of x less than or equal to 2. When integer part of x will be between 1 to 2 is 1 less than or equal to x less than 3. Because even if you take 2.999, integer part is 2 only. Okay, so in this there will be two parts. This is x belongs to close to 1 to open 2. This is x belongs to close to 2 to open 3. So within the domain 1 to 2 one part, 2 to 3 one part. During this time integer, I don't reverse. Okay. This is closed 1 to open 2. This is closed 2 to open 2. Okay. So the domain is, for integer part of x, the domain is only 1 and 2. For x, the domain is 1 to 3, closed 1 to open 3. In that, there are only two cases. In both, one case answer is 3 pi by 2, another case 2 pi. Is it okay 21 or anybody any doubt about 21?
No doubt, sir.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, so I think it will become late if I discuss 23 and 25. Okay, so we'll do one thing today evening at 4 o'clock when I start the class. First, I'll discuss 23 and 25. Then I'll discuss all the even number doubts. You can do 22 and 24 based on method of differences that we discussed already. We've done 2 or 3 questions. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.